350 million years in the making, with formations that totally engulf you. For a journey to the center of the earth with the greatest of ease, you'll find it here at Shoals Caverns.
So as mineral water is coming through, it's going to pick up that rust and leave it on the formations. So tannin brown clay, you're going to have tannin brown formations. If you go to North Carolina, where they have rich iron deposits, it's going to be orange to light orange formations. So what I'm basically saying is soil content and bedrock levels will give you an idea of what to expect before you ever set foot inside of any cave.
Shoals Caverns happens to be one of the oldest caverns in the world.
It's 350 million years old, which means that it does hold the claim to fame for having every known formation throughout the United States. The other thing that makes it interesting is that it's a much more tunnel-like experience. Usually many caves you go to, such as Blanchard Springs or Mystic or Cosmic, they're a much more dome-like experience and it's very large. So I tell people to appreciate those caves for that size, but at the same time, when you come to us, you have a cave, I would like to say, that's in your face. As you're walking around, you're within inches of things instead of several feet from things. The other thing that I like about this cave is its location and a lot of the personal history that's attached to it. Like in 330 BC, the Cliffwalker Indians were the first people to utilize it as a home. Afterwards, there came the Reed Indians, the Osage Indians, all the way up until the early settlers moved into this area. After they left the area, the settlers took over the cave temporarily for storing supplies, things like that, by putting logs in our water, similar to that of a well core. And then way later on down the road, you would have Confederate soldiers utilizing the cave for the purpose of making gunpowder and using it for a light triage. The reason being is just temperature. It's 59.6 degrees inside, so the human body reacted way better to that. And the working conditions for working underground was much more comfortable than being outside. After that, it was utilized by moonshiners before, during, and after Prohibition, just for simply hiding a still in a cave instead of your backyard. And then after that, it was put up for tourism in the 50s. All right, our next point of interest is above our heads, but mainly we're going to be looking at these three beasties right here. Each one of these Drapolite weigh approximately 3 tons plus and can support up to 18 times their own weight, which basically means you could take 3 of my ugly blue Explorer from out front, jack them up, chain them to this first one, and it'll hold all 3 with no problems. Then we have this stone waterfall looking thing. Its complicated name is flowstone. Just think of flowing stone and you'll always get flowstone. Then behind this gentleman's head is cave coral. And then last but not least, behind you guys in this cubby hole is a column. Now, all these formations have one thing in common. They're made from calcite. This comes to pass as water goes through topsoil, hitting pockets of carbon dioxide, becoming a light carbonic acid. So it leaches and dissolves and it evaporates and in turn leaves those minerals behind.
The one thing about Shoals Caverns, it does have an abundance of water.
The water is spring-fed. To the best of my current knowledge, it's 99.32% pure with a 0.68 percentage of just mineral content, so it's very healthy to drink. The only problem with that is it lacks its own individual biology to support massive cave life in there, such as blind fish and so forth and so on. So basically, you can go down as long as you're not being flooded out, grab yourself a cup of something to drink and feel refreshed.
Along with all the water, there are also salamanders, cave crickets that don't chirp, guess they like to keep quiet in a cave, and of course, bats. Interesting thing about caves, you can venture into the same one many times, and each time it's a different experience.
It's refreshing because you're always seeing something new, not just for our cave, but I'd have to say almost every cave that you could go to. You can go through it 100 times, and then if you have the opportunity to look around, you're going to see something new each and every time, because below ground is so different from above ground.
And that it is. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Going inside a cave is like going to another planet.